Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. As you can see, we are in the middle of a next investigation day. After making it through our first trial day, which was cool. Also 1:11 p.m. What a specific time. Whew. We made it back in one piece. Just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London. You were very nearly flattened several times. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Just getting back to our office, not the trial itself. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Oh, okay. Yes, I know. Okay, don't fucking, you don't gotta tease me like that, Suzato. Jeez, I'm just a little boy. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can't find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yeah, let's do that. Is everything alright? I suppose. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. Yeah, hard to imagine. A couple of pair of fools like us. The truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes. I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I have no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were here with us. Yeah, hopefully. He was a pretty cool dude, that Kazuma-sama. Thank you, Suzato-san. Thank you. Ah, well, let's gap for a bit. Oh, it was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know, fucking hell, man. Not only that, but then finding out he's actually a bare-faced gas thief as well, as opposed to those fucking mask-wearing gas thieves. Am I right? Ah, yes. That was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Suzeki-san poisoning the tea. Yeah, it was kind of a tangent, wasn't it? Careful of your phrasing, Suzato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shakespeare than we yet know, I'm sure of it. Mr. Shakespeare certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? Well, I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Ah, oh, which one is that? Let me see. Ah, yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart as Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Ah, yes, after Suzeki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Mr. Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Suzeki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. So, we know that Suzeki-san took tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. Yeah, like I thought pretty early on. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shakespeare's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shansby's room that will help solve the mystery. Well, naturally. Scotland Yard detectives have been all over the place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in that bar of soap. Well, if we'd run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. Let's see what Kazuma's wishes were about. Kazuma Asogi, the best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. Yeah, we might have been up the river without a paddle, without our good friend Kazuma. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes, you can. You can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these links so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. You really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. I'm just a little boy. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world. The city at the forefront of everything. And it can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. Oh, your nose still does that weird thing. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what, motherfucker? Oh, no. Never mind. Yeah? Naruhodo-san? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about Kazuma. You know, as one does. Yes. He's forever in my thoughts, too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right, but... yeah? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. Yeah, I do remember every time we were like, he wanted us to help do something, but he never elaborated on what it was that he wanted us to help him with. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Kazuma's true intentions. Naruhodo-san? What do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? Oh hey, it's me. Or, I mean, it's my hands and the sword. Or it was, it was Kazuma's sword, but now it's my sword. His katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. I mean, it's just a sword, isn't it? Kazuma? So how fucking long is it? Jeez Louise, pal. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Yasugi clan. Man, what a longsword main, am I right? A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Kazuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Not that you would need much compelling, you bastard. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I had hoped that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet I've not found a single clue. Well, clearly you gotta slice the evildoers in two, you know? I see. How bizarre. By the way, check out my armband. You've been wearing that ever since we arrived in Great Britain, haven't you? Well, it's what shows that I'm a lawyer, so it seems apropos. I'm not sure that it really means much in this country, though, I'm afraid. I wouldn't say that. It might not be official, but it looks official. Often when the police stop me, I just show them this and they leave me alone. You're stopped by the police. Often. Well, you know, I'm a suspicious foreigner, dressed all in black with a sword at my side. I do think it's probably the sword that's the main reason. Still, it makes me happy to see you wearing it. And the armband. Yes, I made up my mind that I'll carry them always. The symbol of who I am, and the sword, Karuma. Yeah, pretty dope stuff. Huh. By the way, is there a unique, or new oh, okay, good. I guess I've properly... The stuff that I examined before is still, checked off, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, let's see, where to go. Well, yeah, we can at least check up on Sholmes and Iris, see what they're up to, you know? The 22nd of February, Sholmes' suite. That's a lot of fucking S's. Oh, Bruno and Susie! Hurrah! You're back! Also, yeah, I feel like you would know that. How would we have gotten up to our office without passing by you guys? Come on. Come on, Iris, think. Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am, and you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Are you commenting on her new outfit? Or just in general? Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea, you see. I'll set some cups. Really? Well, thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Oh, good lord. Hi, Sholmes. Again, how did my fucking office is at the attic of this fucking suite. How did I pass by you guys without you noticing that we returned? Aha! The Wanderers return at last. Where on earth have you been? We've been in court, you know. Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. Come on, keep up, pal. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So, tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to have seen it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Van Zykes an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes? Whatever is that odor? Yeah, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Indeed. That's a sign of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh, is that the scent of victory? Dog shit? Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? God, this song is fucking stuck in my head. People talk about the fucking Blue Badger theme being like an earworm, but this thing is like, I feel like I've heard it a lot over the years or months. By the way, Mr. Sholmes, you check out my armband. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Shh, not another word. Ah, yes, I see. This would be a collar. Oh wait, no, we've done this before. Fuck. Oh, okay, I thought maybe he had something new. By the way, you want to eat some soap? I believe you tried to eat some soap once, didn't you? Ah, true, yes. I had a theory that it may cleanse the inside of my digestive system, you see. Was it particularly dirty, do you think? I mean, lots of bacteria and stuff in your innards. Indeed it was, for I had mistakenly imbibed some ink at the time, assuming it to be coffee. I must cleanse at once, I thought to myself. Quite logically, of course. Only you could have an anecdote about swallowing soap. Huh. Let's see. Well, hey, at least we know the fucking, context behind him eating soap. Because he was eating ink. Or he had imbibed ink thinking it was coffee. Pair of teacups. Let's see, do you have any thoughts about that, my guy? Ah, yes. The crockery of the fatal thespian and the mustachioed bookworm. His name is Mr. Sazeki Natsume. You really should try to remember it. Ah, you're right. After all, I've entrapped the man twice now. Yes, the deeply malicious bookworm has a deeply malicious mustache. Oh dear, I'm not sure about that. A deeply misfortunate mustache, perhaps. That too. The mustache is indeed misfortunate, but only because it is malicious. Oh, what wonderful reasoning, Mr. Sholmes. You've won me over yet again. God, you're such a mark for fucking Herlock. But, you know, then again, so am I, so... Any thoughts on this? No, I guess not. Dull. Sorry. If you'll produce such dull items with such a dull countenance, you must expect a dull response. At the very least, you could do something about your face, my dear fellow. Like visual stimulation. Okay, fuck you, man. I know I'm just a guy, but I'm not ugly. Jeez. Or I'm not dull looking, and I'm gonna be fucking rude about it. Fuck. You trying to hurt my self-esteem? Something like this? Indeed. That is quite the stimulation I desired. Jeez, what did Renosuke do? What did he do with his face? God, I wish I could see. Okay, well... Okay, everything's still examined in the... Okay, I know it's repetitive, but... Also, Iris, you're still fucking working on the manuscript? It's been like a day. You need to get some sleep, my girl. Anyway... Tell me about Lord Van Zeeks, and apparently you're acquainted with him. Also, I like your new pipe. It's, long and stylish. Lord Barak Van Zeeks. Ah, yes, it's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once a legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts. Sooner or later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. Do they even have highwaymen in London? There's no, I don't think there's any highways in London itself. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Oh no, that's a Pokemon Renosuke. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit. For the time being, at least. It's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zyke's own hand. As it happens, Mrs. Otto, that is quite impossible. Oh? Why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued. But 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, so I've heard. Yeah, from what I remember, he said that I reminded him of a Japanese person who betrayed him and stuff. But he did say it was a good Jetta character, so, I'll take it, I guess. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. And really did end bitterly indeed. Yeah, that's for sure. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Oh, poor Runo. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, or incredibly unlikable. Bro, what the fuck, Iris? I'm a nice guy. You know that. Fucking, it's not my fault that Varrock just wants to beat up some Japanese people with his legal knowledge. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. Yeah, you just fucking picked up on that? You picked up on those vibes, those subtle vibes he was putting off? Gah! Racism! Okay, well, I do like racism as much as the next guy, but I want to hear about the foul smell. So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, it was probably this, I would say. That fucking plutonium? Uranium? Looks like... Is it blue Gatorade? Looks tasty regardless. What is that? Ah, my dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. Oh my! There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. I mean, isn't all tea just fucking leaves? Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior, I would say so. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris. At the ready, Harley. I'll just add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? It turns black. It's turned completely black. Blacker than the moonlit night. Or moonless night. Yeah, moonlit night isn't black at all because it's a fucking moon. And what a foul odor it's giving off. Bro, okay, that's cool, but wait, I don't know if people want to drink stinky tea. Indeed. The blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with that black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. How are you gonna drink the tea if the tea smells bad, you know? It's like, oh boy, it was a good tea, but now I ruined it. There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Oh, I see. You're just you know, ironing out the kinks and all. I see. The point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation, also. Yeah! Forensic science! Boo! Yeah! Fuck yeah! Oh, these are such exciting times. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock-Holmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. Yeah, you are quite based. This little tea indicant was a heavy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Damn, I didn't know you're so smart. And I mean, well, I know you're smart, but like, I didn't know you were interested in forensic science specifically. Forensic science. I suppose I could find out more about that. Man, I wish fucking Emma Sky was here. She'd be fucking really excited to tell us about that. But she won't be born for like another 100 years. Anyway, tell me about Japanese people. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending being Japanese, as well as Mrs. Otto and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. Yeah, he did seem extra fucking racist and just or extra on edge. For some reason, Lord Van Zyke seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. So it does. Indeed, it is an interesting observation. Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? It was about 10 years ago that Baroque Van Zyke chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? Margot, how do you know this? I believe I made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but why not? Come on, man. The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Gosh darn it, you can't just fucking drop a little crumb like that and expect us to be happy. It's like you're trying to tease us, Mr. Sholmes. So, your T-test. Is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints. Oh yeah, that magical thing we were wanting in like the last game that we couldn't get. Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here there. Yeah, that's for sure. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes. As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's the spirit, Runo! See you later. Also, man, you look oddly tall, Iris. Like, you're like 10 years old and you're like shoulder height with Sholmes. It must be a perspective thing, because it looks a little strange, is all I'm going to say. Yes. Until later. No, Mr. Sholmes. We were thinking you'd come with us. You were? Yes, of course. You said so just a moment ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talent in actions. Ah, yes. I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later. In all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I mean, I might. You know, if I'm not busy with other things. Your commitment astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Runo. Bye, Susie. Bye, later, bitches. Let's see. Let me see something real quick. Oh well, I know this isn't what, okay, well, I know this hasn't been overly productive as an episode, perhaps, but I think we can leave things off for here right now. Don't want things getting too long, after all. Or you know, too long, I mean. But yeah, still, it was pretty interesting stuff, I guess. It was nice to learn the context of why Mr. Sholmes decided to eat soap, when he really shouldn't eat soap. Also, but drinking ink is also bad. Really, he needs to be more careful about what he imbibes, you know? But anyway, we can begin the investigation in earnest on the next episode, because we got a lot of places to go. Well, we got a few places to go anyway. So yeah, we'll just take things one step at a time. But until then, I'll see you around.